Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to episode 15 of the SMB Talk. It's been fantastic since I started this journey. I've been meeting all the people I have met virtually on social media platforms, and they're coming on the show, sharing their journey and things like that. A lot of exciting people. Today's guest is one which will top the list when it comes to excitement. She is an educator. I call her ma'am because she has taught me so much across the years. I've been connected with her for the last several years. She is one of the person whenever I feel low or something, I go and check out her Instagram page or her Twitter account. It cheers me. So she has that kind of aura. I would say. All right. So my guest, you all know who is my guest. Is Dr. Falguni Vasavada. She is an advertising professor, social media influencer, TEDx speaker, and so many more things. So she is a professor chair of strategic marketing area at America and what? She's a double gold medalist with over 2 decades of PhD experience in the area of marketing and advertising. So she mentors and trains a lot of corporate professionals and young entrepreneurs in areas like advertising, marketing, consumer understanding, social media, etc. She has published in international journals and presented papers in national and international conferences across the globe. And she's involved in a lot of international joint research projects in the area of advertising. So when it comes to advertising, she is a go-to person if you have any questions. She is a visiting faculty of several reputed management institutes across the world. And her teaching, research, and consultancy interests are areas in advertising, branding, social media. So coming to her speaking side, she's a TEDx speaker and she's frequently invited to a lot of forums and panels and roundtables across the world. She speaks on advertising, branding, marketing, social media, personal branding, gender equality, and one of my favorite areas she talks about is body positivity, women and dogs. Work-life balance, happiness as a lifestyle, motivation. I can keep going on and on. So without further ado, let's talk personal branding with Dr. Falguni Vasavada.
Hi Vivek.
Good evening, man. So good to see you actually.
Good evening. I am also very happy to see you. We have been talking on social media. I understand we began talking on Twitter. And then, of course, it continued on Instagram, LinkedIn, and of course, rest is history. And now we are seeing each other here.
Absolutely. How are you, ma'am? How is COVID treating you?
Yeah, I am very well. And I think COVID is, of course, I should not say it is treating me well, but I am somebody who is very flexible. Okay. So I adapt myself very quickly to any situation. So if you ask me honestly, it's been 22 years of me working full time. So I'm absolutely enjoying my time as working from home, right? In fact, I love being at home. I love exploring, different things. So of course, work is going at the same super speed. There is no compromise there. But I think it's treating me well, I should say. It is giving us many lost moments and time in history, which we were not able to enjoy.
Absolutely. So I've heard this. For people who love being at home, this is like a blessing in disguise. You are at home in your comfortable environment and you're doing more work. So that's a good thing. So ma'am, this SME talks was just an idea which I was carrying for several years. Thanks to COVID, I started it off in May. And I've been doing it every Friday and I'm bringing people like you who have a good story to tell, a lot of inspiration for people because everybody is going through a lot of tough times. So thank you so much for being here. And as you know, today's topic, I have curated some questions for you because personal branding is one area where people fumble a lot. People don't know what to do. People have all the wrong ideas about personal branding. So I want to bust all that and shoot one question behind you. So are you ready? All right.
Sorry, so, I didn't get your last statement.
Something, are you ready? One question at a time.
Totally ready. I am in the hot seat. Please shoot.
All right. So, ma'am, I follow your personal brand. I learn a lot of things from you. I recently started following you on Instagram also. Very interesting. The kind of content you put and the kind of message you give. It's not that you are do it sporadically. It's with a plan and the kind of message you give is very cohesive. So, can you explain Dr. Falguni Vasavada from a personal brand perspective?
Interesting question to start with. And I think this is one stereotype that I have been trying to break amongst women. They hardly
Right.
speak about themselves, okay? They can never talk about themselves. They can never talk about what they are, who they are. And hence, yes, I'm here to talk about me as a personal brand. So I understand that, see, as a personal brand, I am wearing a few hats, okay? And that becomes a part of my identity creation process. So the first hat that I wear is I'm into academics. I'm a teacher, and proudly so, because I'm very passionate about my field. So that's my identity part one. My second identity is I want to extend this beyond my academic domain, and I want to take my learnings of body positivity, stereotypes, uplifting yourself, fighting for your own gender identity in an unequal world, right? Fighting stereotypes, fighting biases. So, women and anything to do with women empowerment, right? And various routes
Right.
to it, like financial independence, gender identity, equality, stereotypes, securities in your mind. So that's the second identity of my personal brand. The third identity would definitely be fat and fashion, because I talk about body positivity a lot. And
Right.
when you are body positive, that's when you understand that the whole construct around beauty and the whole narrative around fashion in the whole globe, not only in India, has been extremely skewed towards size zero, flawless skin, digitally shopped,
Right.
bodies, no wrinkles, no under eye patches, no white hair. The neck and the face ratio is constructed properly on the computer. So it has somewhere been very unfair to women of different shapes and sizes and color. Okay. And that's
Absolutely.
where I come as a fashion activist. So I'm trying to bring fat back into fashion, because I represent fat women, but I'm sure that process also enables me to talk to the girl who has had black skin, or to somebody who has had freckles, or to some men who does not have a muscular body, right? So
Right.
even
Right.
stereotypes exist across gender. So my identity of a personal brand is built on these three areas. So I'm very clear that as a personal brand, the content that I create and the communication that I do and the conversations that I enter in, like the one right now, what we are having, relates to any of these three. So if suppose like I'll tell you something. Yesterday I got an offer from a very leading national publication to come live on their Instagram handle to talk about what should be the fashion tips for Ganesh Mahotsav. I said I can't do that, right? You have to
Right.
link it with somewhere with identity, personality, because I'm not your ramp walking fashion model, or I'm not endorsing fashion brands. So I'm not
Right.
that. So a good learning for anybody watching us is that as a personal brand, while you should be very sure about who you are and what is your identity created on, it's very important to understand what you are not. And
Right.
that is the beauty of branding, right? Because at the
Right.
end of the day, any strategy would mean choices. What are the choices that you have made? And in that, you have excluded a few, and you have chosen a few over the rest, right? So I think Dr. Falguni as a personal brand would be built on these identity areas. But if you look at what is my brand personality, I am a very warm person. I'm a very happy person. I absolutely love being with people. I love children, right? So I have this big motherly instinct in me. So I think that's the personality part, because there is identity and then there is personality, which decides your tonality. Okay.
Right.
So yeah, I think I'm now going into my marketing domain. So I'll stop here.
No, that's correct. Because I would love hearing that also from you, because I am from marketing and I love these kind of
Yes.
insights coming in. So, I think all these three areas which you just mentioned, all three are equally important in today's world. I
Yeah.
know a lot of my friends, a lot of youngsters who are insecure about themselves, when I
Yeah.
speak to them regarding doing a live or making a video, they are very shy, because they
Mm.
have been told that you cannot do this because you have a very
Yeah.
your fame or something like that. Fantastic, fantastic. So first answer, first question out of the way. My second question is a very basic question. So
Yeah.
when personal branding is a buzzword. Everybody keeps talking about. Everybody is an
Hmm.
expert. So I want to just clear that what is personal branding and why
Hmm.
is it important?
Okay. So let me again go back to the basics of marketing. So if you
Right,
understand, there is a product and there is a brand, right? A
right,
product is very commercial, it's mass produced. So every company can produce, let us say, a pencil, but there is only one Apsara pencil, right? And
right,
there is only one HP pencil which will be used by artists and creative graphic designers.
right,
Similarly, every other factory can be used to manufacture apparels, but there is only one Zara or there is only one Mintra. So it is brand which gives you the recognition and differentiation in a cluttered market. Okay, so today if you look at social media, and the statistics are like freely available for anybody to Google. Facebook is the
right,
world's largest country. Okay,
right,
Twitter
right.
is jumping in terms of its subscription rate, right? In
Right.
60 seconds, I was reading yesterday for a webinar which I gave on digital marketing that in 60 seconds, 7 lakh people are scrolling on Instagram. 7
Wow.
lakh people are scrolling on Instagram, right? And I'm not even looking at Amazon, e-commerce sites, Facebook. There were around 1 lakh Tinder swipes which were happening in 60 seconds. Okay, so on every possible platform of social media, which also we have to understand that it has become an extension of our personal lives. Okay, our
Right.
physical lives today are getting extended on social media. So earlier, Vivek and Falguni would have known each other because maybe they were working together in one office, or maybe they were living in the same apartment, maybe they were in
Right.
5 kilometer neighborhood vicinity, to kirana store pe mil jate the, right? But today, both of us are neighbors on social media, right? So
Absolutely.
firstly, we have to understand that social media is here to stay. It is a way of life, and on social media there are too many people who are trying to make a mark, and in a commoditized market a brand will stand out, and hence
Right.
it is very important to create your own identity. Because if I go back to Kotler's magical words, that anybody can copy your product formula but nobody can copy a brand. Because while a product is made in the factory, a brand is made in the minds of the consumers, right? Your followers, it is made by your audience, it is made amongst people. So say for example, I write beautiful captions, original captions on Instagram. I am never even
Right.
1% insecure of people copying it. Even if they copy, they are copying my caption. They will never be able to copy my swag or my style with which I'm approaching, right? So that is
Right.
the power of branding. Okay. So that number one allows you to differentiate yourself from others. Number two, when you differentiate yourself, your followers start seeing value in your offering, and hence you connect with your followers a little better. And the most important thing, only when you have people's attention will you be able to create content which connect with them, right? So content and conversations happen because you are a brand. People love to listen to you on certain areas. People look up to you on certain areas. So personal branding is of course very important for you and me, but it is all the more important for people who want to make a mark beyond the 5 kilometers social radius, as I call it. Okay,
Right.
or
Right.
beyond. Let us say in Mica, when I was giving a presentation on my social media journey, I said Mica is 21 acres, okay, as a campus.
Right.
So I said, do you want to grow beyond 21 acres, or do you want to be known as the best professor on campus? That is also good, that's your choice. But if you want to grow beyond 21 acres, then you have to invest in your personal brand on social media, right? So it is also a growth indicator. Because say for example, you are working in a company where you have 100 people with you. Now you are reaching to 10,000 people because you are a personal brand, right? But
Right.
most importantly, for the leadership level, people in management circuit, Anand Mahindra or a Ratan Tata, right? Or a Sudha Murthy, whom I talked about day before yesterday when it was a birthday, right? Or a Narayan Murthy, or a Michelle Obama or a Lily Singh. So leadership level people need to utilize these platforms like blogging to social media to YouTube in order to create an identity for themselves, because not only they'll create personal brands, but they will indirectly help their corporate brand. Okay, so when an Anand Mahindra is a brand on Twitter, it is indirectly helping people to connect with Mahindra Group, right? And
Right.
everybody has to do a lot of work when you have to create a personal brand, because unfortunately all of us are not Ratan Tata that one post and we break the internet. Okay, so one post on Instagram and what a person he is, I'm like totally in love with him. So one post and like he had millions of followers, and he follows only one person, right? Tata Group of companies handle, that's it. So everybody is not Ratan Tata. So we will have to have a method to this madness. Okay.
Right.
So I hope I answered your question
Yeah,
why it is
yeah,
important. Yeah.
absolutely. So I'm glad that I'm recording this session because this is like a branding
Yes.
101. This is for people to watch later and take notes. Fantastic. Right. So
Yes.
today we have understood the importance of it. So I run the show from an angle of SMB honors, like the small and medium business, not enterprises, not IBMs in the world, small and medium business. So, I recently wrote a post about why SME owners should focus on personal brand. My next question will be connected to that. So, why do you think entrepreneurs, especially SME owners, should invest their time in building a personal brand?
Oh my God, it's the most important for them. Okay. Like, see, if a large scale organizations can still afford to do television advertising, spend crores of rupees on digital campaigns, sign up a Ranveer Singh and use his personal brand to market their products, right? They can come on news channels like CNBC and have a paid interview done on storyboard. So they have so many different ways because budget is not a constraint, right? And their scale of operation is large enough, it allows them to do it. But the problem with medium and small scale enterprises always is that they are not able to promote themselves because they don't have the budgets, right? They cannot reach mass media. So hence it is extremely important that they use mediums which are available to them. So to every entrepreneur or to every startup guy, even if he's starting today, he has access to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, Pinterest, and you name it, right? A blog, WordPress, and you name it. So for me, social media and personal branding is critical for MSMEs. Okay, it's critical. It's not one of ki required hai, kare to theek hai, nahi kare to theek hai. Sorry, it's required. It's a survival kit. Okay, because social media today for all of us, Vivek, it's our personal billboard.
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely.
social media is your personal billboard. It is on you how you paint it. It is on you how you use it as your canvas to operate. It is on you how you play with colors or how you get obsessed with colors. It's on you how you will broaden your canvas and unlearn, learn, and grow in the process. Or you are just one narrow person sitting somewhere in the corner on LinkedIn. Nobody knows you, but you always drop a hi when you connect with a new person without a response. You are a nobody then, right? So
Right,
for small and medium scale enterprises, it's one of the most potent tool to build the personal brand and also build the corporate brand there, right? And
right,
it's one of the most potent tool to create content. So content marketing that can be done by, let us say, the CEO, the CMO, whoever startup may, of course there are one or two people who are on the leadership position, right? So even one or two people who are junior, they can use it for content marketing. They can use it to create their identities, because what will happen is when they become strong personal brands, people are going to trust them more. Okay, and when they demonstrate thought leadership through personal branding, people will have vishwas on whatever they are doing. And we are moving towards a collaborative consumption economy where trust is the new currency, right? So
absolutely.
I know it's lockdown and we all have almost forgotten what vacations and holidays look like, but still I think I will put chaat masala on the bruises. Okay. वो नमक छिड़कना बोलते हैं ना, वो वाला thing. So just think through how we select Airbnbs. We select based on the review written by somebody who is in Germany, who we have no idea of, who we are never going to meet, whom we don't know at all, but we trust in that person. So we have started trusting strangers. Amazon पे आप कैसे चीजें खरीदते हो? So to build up that trust, personal branding is very important for small scale enterprises. Number one, to build up the trust. Number two, to network with right people and source out your buyers, right? May not lead to direct conversions in terms of sales and all, but you are building a network there, right? Building your own community. And most importantly, personal branding for them is an advertising tool, right? They are themselves advertising their businesses when they are speaking about it in their content. So I think it is multifaceted. In fact, I can do a separate session on why they should be doing personal branding and why they should be using social media.
The main thing which I loved about this answer is the social media is the canvas to play. Right now, I can understand
Yeah.
the kind of color you use on your social media handle. So I think every SMB owner who's listening to it or maybe watch it later
Yeah.
on my YouTube channel or video will have to take this message home. Right.
Yeah.
Now, I want to try some actionable insights, right? So, for example, how can anyone build a strong personal brand? What are the key steps?
Okay. Your question is, how can anybody build a personal brand, right? The process.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So firstly, they will have to understand what are their skill sets, right? So as I said, I am good at teaching. I know marketing and advertising. I know social media. I know fashion and body positivity. I know gender and its issues, right? So firstly, understand what are your unique strengths that you bring on table, right? So start doing a critical analysis. Let us say you identify 10 strengths. Now narrow down, right? Because it's not a buffet counter. You are going to do a personal branding exercise, right? So we don't want a rasam and a Gujarati kadhi to coexist, right? Everything has to match. Okay. So narrow down on the top three to four skills or unique selling propositions that you bring on table as an individual, as a person, and then start developing content and be in right networks based on those three skills. So say for example, for me it is advertising, body positivity and fashion, and gender, right? And in advertising marketing, I'll of course include social media as well. So these three are my guiding light because I know what kind of a content should I create. It should either relate to the three. Now it can be as creative as possible. It can be a very creative execution, like the very fact that I am doing the most humorous reels on Instagram goes to break a stereotype that a professor has always to be nerdy, prim and proper and only reading books. Are you getting my point, right? So your content creation and your network presence is decided by those three. So say for example, how will you decide? There are hundreds of Twitter chats that happen on Twitter. How do you decide which Twitter chat you want to go to? That is decided by the three skills that we have just narrowed down, right? Now, say for example, you see a very good article and you want to curate it and you want to post that link on your LinkedIn because you see it's a very good article. Somebody has written it very well. Should you post it or not? Your curation will depend again on those three things, right? So, say for example, I am a big Bollywood freak person, okay? I love Bollywood and I love masala and love gossips, right? So, yesterday, suddenly I read on Twitter that, oh, Sara Ali Khan and Aryan, whatever, have unfollowed each other and they have broken up, right? But does that mean I put that article on my LinkedIn? Or am I a Bollywood journalist? No. But if I was a Bollywood journalist, right? If I was a film critic, it would have come in my consideration set. Are you getting the point? So you start differentiating between the content that you consume for your personal interest and the content that you are going to create and curate for personal branding as a process, right?
Right.
So
Right.
if I memorize, help people memorize it in a visual form. So 1, 2, 3 are your skills. They go into two directions, two axes. The first axis is content. The second axis is networking. Now content again goes into two parts. One is creating content. Second is curating content.
Sure.
Okay, and network goes only into one, conversations that you will enter into. Okay, so
Right.
that's the whole model or which I have developed over a period of time. Wherever I go to give talks and presentations on personal branding,
Right.
this is what I have thought of based on my experience, right? So that is how you create, and it takes a lot of effort. So I want to tell to every young person, telling it as a golden rule, that there are no shortcuts to success. Hard work will always be in fashion. हम कितना भी स्मार्ट वर्क बोल ले, हम कितना भी माइक्रो लिंक्स ढूंढ ले कंटेंट का, राइट? बिकॉज बिफोर पुटिंग द कंटेंट यू शुड हैव read it. So that's hard work.
Right.
Because you are curating it, people will ask you questions. Remember, you are putting it because you are known for that area. So people, if then they ask questions, you will not say, "अरे मैंने थोड़ी लिखा है, आप read करके उनको पूछना है." So then, because personal branding is also about having some responsibility, okay, towards your audiences,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
So yes, so this is the whole process. It will not happen overnight. Please understand that. पहले जब आप पोस्ट करना स्टार्ट करोगे, like I was seeing my first post on Instagram, it had some 30 likes, okay, and I almost fainted. Wow, I have survived 30 likes also. But persistence is a must. You have to keep growing till people know you through your content. Because personal branding, again, I will tell you one golden principle is should be built through organic reach. Right? You can, of course, as a business, when you are doing it for your business, you can do paid advertising, push advertising, but personal branding needs your energy and it needs your enthusiasm, right? In whichever way it comes through. Everybody may not be a very enthu cutlet person, personality wise, like me. Okay, but whichever way, like being there, being a part of conversations, always being alive, these are some of the mantras which I am discussing. But it needs you and it needs your involvement, because your serious involvement only will lead to personal branding, right? People don't love to talk to bots, okay? People don't love to talk to machine learning based data when you are looking at personal branding. They are looking at a human person. Yeah.
Because I have seen the kind of effort you put and the kind of engagement your post gets right now. That's multiply 1,000 times to the whole 30 likes repetition. So that shows that how much hard work it takes, how much passion you
Yeah.
need to have to prove yourself as not the person who knows everything, at least an expert in that area or at least a passionate person in that area. So I think it was a fantastic summation of that process. I'm pretty sure a lot of people will benefit out. Right. So now you have been talking about content again and again. So my next question will be about content. So content is the cornerstone of building a powerful personal brand. But then
Yes.
whenever you speak about content to anybody, there is the body language changes, people become a little bit annoyed and all that. So how can normal people, like all of us, can tackle this challenge of content?
So the challenge of personality you are saying, or challenge of lack of content?
Lack of content.
Sorry? Lack of content.
Yeah.
Okay. So see, that also will come from your networking, your being alive on the medium. The more you read, the more you consume information. See, because from day one, I never thought I'll become a brand on social media. Are you getting my point? So you start first
Yes.
as a learner. You are also very raw. You don't know, like say for example, when you are starting your blog and you are writing the first article, उसके बाद second article आता ही नहीं है दिमाग में. You don't get ideas on what to write. But then you have to read more blogs. You have to read people who have taken that journey or taken that leap of faith. There are eminent bloggers around you. There are eminent Instagrammers around you. So say, for example, I write a lot on body positivity, right? Now, there are bloggers who have like millions of followers and they are body positive bloggers. I cannot be so narrow saying, oh, I am the best, right? That narrow approach will kill you at the end of the day, and you will stop learning. The moment you stop learning, you'll stop evolving. So you have to go
Right.
and see their content. You have to get content ideas, right? You have to see what is working. Also, there is something called an instinct. Okay, like say for example, you are posting a picture with a caption on Instagram. You are also doing a story. You're going Instagram live, and you're also doing an IGTV, and you're doing a reel. Now I've talked 5 types of content, right? Now some
Right.
will work more for you, some will work less for you.
Right.
So based on that, take a conscious call. Where do you need to invest more? So for example, I'll tell you that right now, because reels are newly launched on Instagram, right? And they are like completely working for me. So I'm using more reels, right? Because it is giving me new audiences. Reels are directly going into the explore tab of Instagram, and hence even
Right.
my non-followers can see me and they follow me back. So for example, on LinkedIn, the whole notion is around being very politically correct, right? You have to write only about your domain. But recently my interview was published where the headline is what it takes to be an unapologetically strong woman, right? And that was the
Okay.
headline, and I posted, and it's working so well because I think somewhere people are also tired about politically correct content on LinkedIn. Okay, or for
Right.
example on Twitter, sometimes you tweet about your domain, sometimes you tweet about your let us say your intellectual take on affairs of the country, but sometimes you also give them a glimpse into your personal lives कि ओ आज तो
Right.
गणेश चतुर्थी है, आज घर पे ये बना है, दिस इज हाउ मैंने पूजा रूम सजाया है. So people want to know you in and out as a person. They don't want to know you in as a package, only as a fake package. They want a
Right.
package deal where they know you in and out, right? So
Right.
my biggest suggestion for anybody tackling with the issue of content and all is, the answer is number one, networking, number two, conversations. It is a alive medium, it is not a passive medium, right?
Right.
So I have seen many influencers or people who have grown well on platforms, they get lots of queries. Vivek, will you believe me that I get, only if I say Instagram, I get more than 200 plus comments on a daily basis, and I'm swearing,
Right.
I'm not exaggerating, right?
I
200
know that.
plus. Not a single comment goes unacknowledged.
What
Okay,
is
so
this?
you also have to enter into conversations, right? Sometimes your audience gives you ideas. Like recently, I ran this answer me in DM kind of a story where I said that the Indian matchmaking show is going viral on Netflix. But why is it not coming as a surprise to me? Anybody who has had an arranged marriage has seen so many Sima aunties of the world making extremely inhuman comments on your body, on your attitude, on your mental makeup. So share your experiences with me. I got 103 responses.
My goodness.
Now just imagine if I create a blog out of this and with permission, right? In my story itself, I'd written that whatever you share with me, I'll mask your identities, but I would like to share it with my Instagram audience. And everybody had given permission, right? So of course
Right.
I was
Right.
cropping their name and I was not mentioning the identity. But the kind of responses that I got was so heartwarming and was so real that it created so much of empathy in the people who were even reading it, that oh my god, we had no idea, we were just thinking what stupid show has Netflix produced. It's not stupid, it's the mirror of the society that you are
Right.
in. So there are creative ways of getting to content. Like yesterday, this lady who is one of my favorites on Instagram, Dolly Singh, okay, and
Right.
she's a stand-up comedian and she creates comic content, Kusha Kapila and Dolly Singh. So
Yeah.
Dolly Singh came live for 2 hours to ask to her viewers that can you give me some ideas on what I can create further content, क्योंकि मैंने लॉकडाउन में बहुत क्रिएट किया है, अब मैं भी saturation पे पहुंच गई हूँ. So what is the one learning that you are learning from this is genuineness.
Right.
People love people who are genuine, who do not fake. So right now, if you ask me a question and if I don't know an answer, should I make up an answer or should I tell you that, sorry, Vivek, I don't know, maybe I'll get back to you? You will appreciate the second Falguni better, right? So
Absolutely.
genuineness is the key as far as content goes. Sometimes show your vulnerabilities also. Sometimes take your audiences through an experience of how you were body shamed when you were young, right? Or how you were never so confident when you were a teenager. So share your vulnerabilities also with them, okay? Share your pain moments, happy moments. So the moment you have your USPs identified, I think it will make the content part also a little easier.
Yes, yes, yes. You need to know that so that you can either curate or start conversing on those topics. Yeah,
Yes.
right. That's fantastic. I think
Yes.
very soon you will need a team to moderate your comments. Trust me, I am very good. You doing it, you're gonna go crazy. But I'm so happy to hear that every post is 200 comments.
Yeah.
I'm just, it's mind blowing.
And I think when I'm saying
Fantastic.
200,
But,
I'm being conservative.
yeah,
And I'm
okay.
talking only Instagram, okay? I am in a scary way on Twitter, LinkedIn, everywhere available, no? Facebook.
Fantastic. Fantastic.
Yeah.
That's right.
Tell me.
So my next question will be, how can people, the next biggest question when it comes to personal branding is, कौन सा channel में जाना? Which channel should I say? So how can people choose the right channel for their
Hmm.
journey of building a
Okay. So, according to me, today we do not have much of a choice. We should be present on prominent channels. So, we should not go only for one channel because every platform is unique, right? So, say for example, for everybody, what will be a must is LinkedIn, Twitter, and a blog, right? Or a YouTube channel. But let us say, for example, there are people who are camera shy. There are people who do not like to do videos. They can go for a blog, they can go for more textual platforms and less of visual platforms. Are you able to hear me, Vivek, properly?
No, there was a lag, man. Actually, I missed that part. Can you just
I could
tell
see
our
that
listeners?
from your face. Teacher, remember? सीधा attention गया मैंने पकड़ लिया. Okay, now can you hear me properly?
Yeah. Now I can hear you.
Okay. So I was saying that ideally you should be on maximum platforms because every platform's characteristics are different. So while Twitter
Right.
is a very opinionated platform, LinkedIn is your professional network, Instagram is your visual platform, Facebook is more for friendlier conversations. So ideally, according to me, you should be on all platforms, but also depends a lot on your personality type. Okay, it should
Right.
not look like as if you have a forced existence on a platform. So let us say
Right.
for example, if somebody is extremely camera shy, then they should not
Right.
go for a YouTube channel at all, right?
Right.
They should not
Right.
go for a YouTube channel. Suppose somebody is a very what should I say, camera conscious person and is never ever going to post pictures of her own self or his own self. I think Instagram is then not for them, right? Because half-heartedly कहीं पे भी रहने का मतलब नहीं है. So then you are dominating more on textual platforms like LinkedIn, like a blog that you create, like Twitter, like Facebook, where it's not very important to do video and visuals only. But
Right.
Instagram, you are killing the whole essence of the platform if you are not visually present there, right?
Right.
So ideally on all, but realistically decide based on your personality because that will also further determine your audience types. Okay.
Right. Oh, God. I'm very bad with selfies, so in my Instagram feed, the selfies will be very less. If you're not there, it will be horrible selfies. so, but my next question is, everybody kicks off the journey of personal brand, but it stops after a month, week, 2 weeks, it stops. So, what are the typical challenges you have seen? Why people find it so challenging to build personal brand?
Hmm. I think the biggest challenge is your mental block. You have still not accepted the potential of social media. You have not recognized the potential of social media. Believe you me, I was because my TEDx talks happened because people could hunt me on social media, right? I
Right,
was
right,
invited to speak on TEDx platform because somewhere they'd seen some video that I'd posted somewhere on Facebook or on Instagram or on Twitter. So people have still not realized that they are looking at social media as अरे फॉरवर्ड्स करने हैं वो चाची बुआ प्रेजेंट है फेसबुक पे बर्थडे ग्रीटिंग्स देने हैं सो you not realize the whole potential of social media, and that is the biggest challenge why people stop after a certain time. Also, as I said, it requires a lot of hard work and consistency. So
right.
people who are not interested in consistently improving their performance will, of course, see this as a barrier. No, like they'll get discouraged that oh, 2 महीने हो गए अभी 500 follower भी नहीं बने, you know. So अभी रह के क्या मतलब है? It takes time, dear. It takes time. Okay, everything is not instant like Nescafe. No, everything cannot be instant, right? There is maza of slowly brewing adrak chai. Okay, which only slowly brew करोगे तो ही उसका टेस्ट आएगा. So so somewhere I think the challenge is the understanding of the potential of social media. They are looking at social media as time pass and not to build a personal brand. And number 3, they want quick results and they don't want to put in hard work. I think that's the whole story.
Absolutely. Focus on growing your ginger tea rather than
Yeah, yeah,
syndrome. Yeah, that's the thing.
yes,
Fantastic. Ma'am, I don't want to leave you without talking about body model, right? Because
yeah,
it has a connection with personal brand also. So
yes,
self-confidence, that is one challenge because of especially because of body positivity. It's the one topic which is very close to your heart. So I want to know what
yes.
kind of role does that play when people try to build their personal.
Okay, so you're asking what is the role of body positivity while people build a personal brand? Oh, so important a role, okay? And I'm very happy you covered this question because I take this as my CSR bit that wherever I go to speak, irrespective of the topic, I have to speak about body positivity because it gives me more people who will listen to it. See, firstly, let us understand what is body positivity in the simplest way. So, body positivity is a movement which tells people that please accept yourself if you are different than the idea created by society and media of body.
Right.
Okay. So, please accept yourself if you are different from the idea or the narrative of beauty promoted and portrayed over the years by media and by society. So it's not limited only to fat people. That's why I said this statement. So the idea can be different than the narrative because your skin is not right, your height is not right, your muscular body is not right, your frame is not right, and hence you are paper thin or you are fat or you are extra large or you are obese, right? So it delves into different types of bodies. Now, the moment you are insecure in your body, and because say for example somebody is very conscious because itne sare pimples hai face pe, somebody is very conscious because at an early age they've got white hair, somebody is very conscious because they are very short in height. So body insecurity makes you very conscious of who you are, and it
Right.
impacts on your overall confidence that you bring on table, and you're on screen, of course, confidence that you bring on screen. Now the moment you are considering yourself inferior, you will never be able to create a brand out of yourself. No, you yourself have defined yourself as inferior. So superior होने की बात कहाँ है? वो तो other extreme है, right? So somewhere
Right.
you are settling down for inferior choices, you are getting into abusive relationships, you are staying into abusive relationships because at the end of the day you think that I am so fat, मुझे कौन सा लड़का बोलेगा, or I am so black, which girl will marry me? So you settle down for inferior choices, it starts impacting your whole life. And I'm very sorry to say personal branding का scope ही नहीं है ये चीज में, right? Because it has severely impacted you and your securities as a person. So even if you are, let us say, talking something on a YouTube video, people see you as a very conscious, underconfident, undertoned person. They don't see the content you bring,
Right.
because your lack of confidence is dominating your visibility sphere. Now, turn the table, and when you are looking at a body positive person, the last thing you will see is her physique or his physique. Okay,
Right.
because there is an aura of confidence that is walking ahead of my body, right?
Right.
There is an acceptance, there is a self love which you are seeing on my face. There is a strength which I have developed over a period of time as a body positive person, that whichever way I look, I'm extremely happy, right? So I don't care what people think, I don't care what society thinks, I don't care that till date in a film, if you are a very good actor but if you are plump, you will always be the heroine's best friend. I don't care, but I point that out as an objection, right? So people listen up to you because somewhere they see that you have come to terms with the flaws as defined by the society. In fact, in one of the posts, I also questioned who defined it as flaws. The moment we
Right.
say flaws, it is also defined by society, no? It's defined by media.
Absolutely.
So I think people will take you seriously when you are secure in your body, because it definitely impacts your level of confidence, be it in personal branding, be it in your profession. So say, for example, you are a digital marketer. When you will go to meet your clients and you will do pitching for new businesses, your confidence will be impacted, no? If you are insecure, you'll try to cover up, right? You'll be very conscious. So you want to, like, say for example, I want to wear a sari but I'm very conscious, so I will wear a salwar kameez which hides my whole body, right? I'll wear a dupatta. Somewhere I'm stopping myself from expressing as the real person that I am,
Right. Right.
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think this advice of fake it till you make it, it doesn't work in the long term. It
Yeah.
always falls flat on the face. I've seen that. I've done it myself. That's why a lot of my work has been got postponed. I'm getting older now, so now I'm starting to do things because I got confidence in myself and my feet and face. So
if
that's
you
why
are
that's
if you are old if you are old, I am in grave, no? We are not old, okay? Still there is lots to do in life, hence we are not old.
absolutely. I think that's a fantastic advice on people. I know a lot of people who have this body positive issues, self confidence issues because of that. So that's a
Yeah.
fantastic advice. All right. So ma'am, I wanna just ask a small question. We have already covered this, but I wanna just drive this point home. So a lot of people have a lot of inertia to start off this social branding work. How can they overcome that?
To start what? To start doing personal
Yeah,
branding,
they
you're
are.
saying?
Yes, they are a little bit hesitant. Should I do it? Should I not do it? So, what is your advice? How can they overcome?
Yeah. So I think if they've heard us till now, they would be
Yeah,
very clear that it's a very potential medium that we are talking about. It has inherent advantages. So advantages starting from professional growth, personal growth, your own evolution as a human being, your worldview changes and your perspective changes. Let us say, for example, somebody is living in a very small, semi-urban, small town, and he or she has never traveled around the globe, okay? And the moment you enter into the social media world, you are virtually getting to know somebody from London, somebody from Goa, somebody from Delhi, somebody, you are knowing different cultures suddenly, sitting in your own bedroom, right, from where you are accessing. Suddenly you will think that, oh, my struggles are nothing, because that person's story is worth listening to. She had two failed marriages, she had a divorce, and today she is the CEO of the biggest firm in London. Suddenly you realize that I was crying on nothing, okay? So I'm giving you as an example, not that I means me, but I'm giving an example. Suddenly your worldview broadens, you get to know different cultures, you get to know people from different domains. So start with this. Don't start that I want to become a brand someday. Start with
right,
this, that I want to go on a journey wherein I can unlearn a few biases, conditioning, stereotypes, which I have grown with, or some things which are restricting me from being that 100% expressive person. So I want to unlearn, I want to learn, and I want to relearn, right? And hence I want to grow. So start with this thought process. Don't start, see, that is a very, what should I say, short-sightedness that I see in today's youngsters. Oh, हमें तो influencer बनना है, इसलिए we want to go on Instagram. No, you cannot. There is nothing, you can not become an influencer, okay? There is no method to become an influencer, sorry to say, right? Eventually you become, your work speaks for yourself, right? Or these collegians who say, we want freebies, we want those brand hampers to come in every day. So that is a wrong start. So first of all, start correctly. That will remove the inertia, because suddenly you see social media as an encyclopedia. You see social media as a learning platform. And let us say I was born and brought up in Rajkot, okay? And there are many people who follow me from Rajkot, and they're astonished with my fluency in English. Now, I'm giving my example. I would have also got astonished by somebody's vocabulary. Are you getting my point? But you get higher order role models. You get people from similar backgrounds who are made it large in their lives, right? You know about people's barriers, hurdles, also failures, and the journey gets emphasized. That is also very important. And if you are missing out on the world of social media, I think somewhere you are leading a very, very narrow life, okay? And that narrow life would be restricted, as I said earlier, to your 5 kilometer social radius, or to your 21 acres of your campus, or to what your family thinks is right and wrong, because ultimately you become the person based on the formative years, right? So somewhere today, because of social media, I have challenged my own prejudices, my own stereotypes. In fact, I used to judge people a lot, and I would go undocumented by saying that, because you come from a certain social background, you come from a certain city, you only seen life happen in a particular way, right? Now that you realize that shit, what I am today standing for, I was doing it before 10 years. So that evolution will happen. So start with the right objective in mind. That is my only this thing. And if you start with the right objective, I think social media has the tendency to make you fall in love with it. Okay, so then it is magnetic. Then you fall in love with the power that social media gives you, the platform that social media gives you. Who doesn't like a platform to express? I think there is no human being who does not like a platform to express. Okay, so then suddenly you understand the power, you experience the potential, and then set out on a conscious journey to do something meaningful with your presence on social media. Eventually, your personal brand will happen.
Right. So the only caveat here is it's not the forwarding social media usage we are talking about. It's totally about absorbing the right knowledge, sharing your
Yes.
knowledge, and talking with you. And I have seen a lot of youngsters who they just want to share things. They find funny, memes, this and that. They keep sharing that their social media, view. That kind of policy. I
Right.
also want to on your point about changing the mindset. I have a lot of I don't use Facebook to connect with my family or friends. All my friends are either marketing influencers or people who are in marketing in US and all that. And even now, because of my interaction with them, whenever I get vulnerable sometimes on social media, they are the first ones to reach out to me. Even people who are close to me, I know they will not.
Exactly.
Yeah, so that is the kind of power social media has. All right. But my next question will be, I want to give people who are watching some baby steps, right? Because they might, most of us feel overwhelmed when we talk about personal brand, content, curation, this, that. I want to give some baby steps for people who want to start this.
Okay. So I think the first baby step is becoming alive and active on various platforms. Okay.
Okay.
Develop a ability to post regularly, to enter into conversations regularly, comment on people's posts, right? Curate some posts that you can, but your presence has to be a regular presence. It cannot have peaks and dips, right? That it's not something like salary, no, that your bank account is full in the first week and it is the lowest in the last week, and there is midlife crisis that you experience. It cannot be like that. Branding cannot be done like that. Okay, so firstly, be alive and be active. That's the first baby step. The moment you start being very regular in your postings, I think you will develop a method to the madness. You will understand the mechanics of the responses, what kind of response you are getting, how your content is working, how it is not working. At the end of it, everybody is self-learned, okay, in the personal branding space. Because of course, other than the likes of Ratan Tata and Anand Mahindra, who would have an agency of people backing them, as I told you, those 200 messages only I am responding, right? Only one woman army. So it's at the end of the day, it's all self-learned. So you go through a lot of trial and errors. So the first baby step is be very regular in your content. Second is be real. Okay, don't fake things which you don't know. It's not important to give opinion on everything. You won't believe, Vivek, I have got at least 10 queries in my Instagram inbox saying, what is your view on Sushant's suicide case? And I tell them that while I am extremely pained with the step he took, okay, because of the intellectual person that he was, there was so much more potential to his life. I have zero clue because I'm not following the case. So you have to be very real in your responses, right? So first is regularity, second is real, and third is be responsible. Don't spread fake news, right? Verify content before you post, because in the regularity sphere you should not be in a speed कि चलो पहले मैं post कर देता हूँ. Nobody is playing fastest finger first on social media. Okay, so it is not about being fast, it is about being relevant. Okay, so real, regular, real, and responsible. Maybe these are the three baby steps.
Yeah.
3 hours, yes.
Fantastic. But now I want to focus a little bit on you and your brand, right? So you have been working hard on it. I know that personally. So what kind of content do you focus on to build your audience?
Yeah, so as I have told you earlier, my content totally anchors to the four domain specializations that I talked about. So, say for example, I was very vocal on World Menstruation Day, right?
Right.
Because I am all about women, okay? Or for example, when Jacinda Ardern does something good, I always repost because I have said that she's my role model, right? I want more women to become like her. Or yesterday, Michelle Obama tweeted that I'm not bossy. I have leadership qualities, and I was taught wrong in my childhood that when, as a girl, you are bossy, society tells you that you are bossy, but you're not bossy. You're a good leader. So I commented on that, right? Let us say, for example, very soon I'm launching an IGTV video where I'm going to talk about Zomato's period leave, okay, and the ifs and buts, because there are two schools of thoughts which are emerging, and I'll give my views on that. Body positivity during lockdown. One of my videos that went viral was about chin hair, right? And how people are so conscious that even in a life or a death situation like coronavirus, people want to go to beauty parlors to get waxing and threading done, right? And I appeared on camera with lot of hormonal hair growth and told them that, see, this is how you look in real life, and you should be okay with it. While of course I also want to look more presentable, and I love threading that hair, but it should not come at the cost of your confidence, right? So body positivity. I talk a lot about gender power hierarchies. So I talk about marriage. I talk about relationships between a husband and a wife, or a partner and a partner, right? I also focus a lot on breakthrough campaigns in advertising and marketing, because I'm an advertising professor. So something unique that has happened in the marketing world, because I have many of my ex-students, alumni also, who are following me. So that keeps me connected. People know me as the Micah professor. So I do a lot of campus content also, in the sense I go, then I shoot a video, right? Birds are chirping. I'll put up that audio on Insta story. So I do a lot of these, but all those are anchored in the 3 to 4 domain specializations that I talked about.
Right. That's
Right?
a big lesson actually. That alignment to your area is very, very key. on this entire journey when I'm going to take. All right,
Yeah.
so I have already taken so much time of yours. My final question for you today is I ask every guest who comes here because we are going to pandemic situation. So how has COVID-19 impacted your role as an educator? How are you coping up?
My role as an educator?
Yes,
Yeah. Yeah. So see, as you know, that the whole world from offline has gone online suddenly, and it has meant too much of screen time for the teachers as well as the students, right? And of course, it has also meant mental health issues because there are too many things running around for everybody, right? Like somebody has lost a near and dear one, somebody in the family would have just tested positive, somebody is home quarantined, somebody has lost a job, somebody has had a pay cut. So there are multiple level issues which everybody is going through. So I think somewhere as an educator, I'm more sensitive right now and more empathetic towards students than I would have been in a normal time. Like I would have understood that 100% attention chahiye, kaise ye assignment nahi kiya, why they are asking for an extension of deadline. But this time, I'm also going, letting it go slow, right? I'm allowing them the slow pace of learning. So I think all of us who are in a leadership position have to have empathy now. So I think I am more empathetic as a person. Like, believe you me, I told in my first class because we do it through Zoom. And one of the points that I told was that it's okay if your father or your mother comes in the background. You are sitting in their space. It's not your classroom. Don't yell at them. Don't scream at them. It is a coexistence space, right? Like I'll tell you right now, this is going on. My husband has just entered. He had a 12-hour day at office. So immediately, without touching any surface, he has to go and take a bath. Now I cannot stop him from entering into the bedroom, right? So are coexisting. So I think work from home has blurred the boundaries. And somewhere as an educator, while I'm very empathetic towards this change, I've also become more disciplined. So the moment I close my door, I will inform my father-in-law or anybody in the house that now I have a class till so and so time. So they will also they're mature people right around me, and they're also empathetic, so they will forget that I exist in the house. So they'll not call me when the dhobi is here or the milkman is here. They'll think that I've gone to campus, right? So the blurring of boundaries, the coexistence, the empathy required, I think these are a multitude of factors which has been impacted on me, which has impacted me as an educator. And at an individual level, I think all of us should do whatever makes us more happy. Okay. If it means doing 20 reels, please do it. If it means talking to your mother for 3 hours, do it. If it means binge watching on Netflix over the weekend, do it. Because somewhere your happiness quotient has to be intact, because nobody is moving out of the house. No, so it's a monotonous life that we all are living. We are not seeing people around, and we are in India. We are not in Britain or in US where you don't see people till like 5 kilometers. Okay, so we are not even seeing our neighbors, right? So yeah. So I
all
think we
right.
have to be a little more human.
Exactly. I think this is, I again say this, a lot of people object when I say this, that this is again COVID-19 is a blessing in this guy. I mean that we were losing touch of ourselves as well as other people. You know, we were just going through
Yes.
we were sticking to that, but this has come as a vaccination for us to get to our roots properly. Anyway, thank you so much, ma'am. I've taken so much time of yours, and it was such a
Pleasure.
lovely. I learned a lot. I will be implementing a lot of the things which you just explained. And as always, I follow you on every channel, and I will be following you more. And thank you so much for being here.
Pleasure. It was a pleasure talking to you. Thank you for having me on your show. All the
Thank
best for the future shows.
thank you.
Bye. I'll take your leave. Yeah.
Bye. All right, so that was Dr. Falguni Vasavada. I have never enjoyed talking to a teacher this long after I went school. Right? So she, personal branding. I teach personal branding even at my office. So personal brand is something which you should not take for granted. because the bird is running on this. That's a smartphone. So you need to be putting in efforts to build a personal brand. So next week, same time, same place, I will have a good personal brand which has a good story to tell. See you all next week. Thank you so much for joining the SMB Talk.